Show that the equation nc3 equals n plus 1 c2 minus 5 can be written in the form fn equals 0, where fx equals x cubed minus 6x squared minus x plus 30. Show that x plus 2 is a factor of fx, hence find all the solutions of the equation nc3 equals n plus 1 c2 minus 5. So for this, we can start with this part, which is nc3 equals n plus 1 c2 minus 5, and I can write this as factorial n divided by factorial n minus 3 times factorial 3, and that equals n plus 1 factorial divided by n plus 1 minus 2 factorial times 2 factorial minus 5. So then I can also write, therefore, n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 times n minus 3 factorial, and the entire thing divided by n minus 3 factorial times 3 times 2 is 6. That equals n plus 1 times n minus 1 factorial divided by n minus 1 factorial times 2 minus 5. So I can cancel out these factorials, and then I would have, therefore, n times n squared minus n minus 2n plus 2 divided by 6 equals n squared plus n minus 10 out of 2. So then that would give me 3, and then I can write, therefore, n cubed minus 3n squared minus plus 2n equals 3n squared plus 3n minus 30, and therefore n cubed minus 6n squared, and then plus n, 2n minus 3n is minus n, and then plus 30, and that equals 0. So Fn, so which is of the form Fn equals 0, where Fn equals n cubed minus 6n squared minus n plus 30. Okay, now if n equals x, then fx would be x cubed minus 6x squared minus x plus 30, and that's what this is. So we have got our first part done, and then you see that if x plus 2 is a factor of fx, if x plus 2 is a factor of fx, then f of minus 2 should be 0. Because x plus 2 equals 0, x equals minus 2. So then let's check. So f of minus 2 would be minus 2 cubed minus 6 times minus 2 square minus minus 2 plus 30, and that equals minus 8. 4 minus 6 minus 24 plus 2 plus 30, and that is minus 32 plus 32, and that is 0. So we have done this as well. So now the final bit. So for that we need to divide the expression x cubed minus 6x squared, or n cubed, because we've been um, asked to find the solutions to the equation nc3 equals n plus 1 c2 minus 5. So we can divide that the entire expression in n by n plus 2 instead of dividing it by x plus 2. Or we can divide it by x plus 2 and get a solution. You can forward the video. It's taking me a bit long. So what we want to do is, so we can show it as n plus 2 is a factor of fn. We have to then, if we are to do n plus 2, we have to divide this entire expression n cubed minus 6 n square. I need a bit of space. So n cubed minus 6n square minus n plus 30, and if I'm going to divide this by n plus 2, so how am I do that? So the first thing is n cubed, so I'm going to write n square, so I will get n cubed and plus 2n square, and then subtract, and that goes away, and minus 8n squared minus n plus 30, and then it's going to be minus 8n. So that would give me minus 8n squared minus 16n, and then again plus and plus. So then what we have is 8x squared gets cancelled out, and we get plus 15n plus 30, because it's 0 here. So then the next we can put plus 15, and we'd have plus 15n plus 30, and if you subtract you will get 0. So the fn can be written as fn can be written as n plus 2 times n squared minus 8n plus 15, and we can factorize this further. So n squared minus 8n plus 15 we can say is n squared minus 5 times 3 is 15 minus 5n minus 3n plus 15. So we're going to get equals n times n minus 5 minus 3 times n minus 5. That equals n minus 3 times n minus 5. So I can write fn equals n plus 2 times n minus 3 times n minus 5. And if to find the solution, if fn equals 0, then n equals 3 or 5, and that's because n cannot be negative. So we get n equals 3 or n equals 5, and those are the solutions of this this equation.